Hello everybody and welcome to the House of Nostalgia. In today's video, I want to discuss what caused the fight between Tupac Shakur and Albert and Allen Hughes, known as the Hughes Brothers. They directed the 1993 groundbreaking film Menace II Society. Now, first of all, we all know that Tupac Shakur is a legend among the rap world. He was extremely talented, and he was also an actor whose life was taken at the young age of 25. He recorded 4 studio albums, and some say 5, before his death, and 7 studio albums was released after his death, which caused a lot of people to believe that he was still alive, and that's a whole nother story. Now, Tupac Shakur starred in 6 movies, and he got his big break in the movie Juice, where he played the character Bishop. And he received rave reviews in that movie. And this was in 1992, before Menace II Society was released. And the movie Poetic Justice was waiting for its release. The Hughes Brothers are actually twins who were originally from Detroit, Michigan. They are directors who became successful in the movie industry. Menace II Society was their first directorial movie debut, but this wasn't their first time working with Tupac. They directed a few of Tupac's videos before this movie, and one was from one of my favorite songs of Tupac's, which was Brenda's Got a Baby. And this video was directed in 1992, which really helped launch their career. So they wasn't new to Tupac at all. The role in the movie that Tupac was given was the character Sharif. He was a conscious person, and he was also a Muslim. Now, Sharif was one of the 5 main characters in the movie. You had Old Dog, who was played by Lorenz Tate, and his character could care less about human life, and he had no conscience at all. Then you had Kane, who was played by Tyrone Turner. And he did care about human life a little bit, but he wasn't a killer, and he wouldn't quit being your friend if you was one. He was a robber, a dealer, and he was in love with Ronnie, and she was played by Jada Pinkett. And he also loved his mentor, Parnell, who was played by Glenn Plummer. The brothers made you feel in the end of the movie that Kane could have been a better person if he wouldn't have died. So why didn't we see Tupac playing the role of Sharif? Now, I'm going to give you 5 conflicting stories. Now remember, Tupac passed away in 1996. So people are still asking these questions way up into the 2000s. And 3 of these people were there and 2 wasn't. And one of the ones that wasn't there was me. But I kept up with everything by what I read and saw on television. In a 2015 interview that DJ Vlad did with Mopreme Shakur. Now, first let me tell you a little bit about Mopreme, because he had an interesting story as well. He is Pac's half-brother, and he was one of the founders of the group Thug Life. And he also helped founded the group The Outlaws. And he did a lot of other things during his career. But what I found very interesting about him was how he did not go into a death row contract with his eyes closed. He ended up quitting The Outlaws because of that. And that says a lot to me about him. This all started during the reading of the movie. Now, he said that he felt that the Hughes brothers owed Tupac because Tupac is the person who put them on by letting them direct the videos that he did. He claims that the brothers got all Hollywood and disrespected Tupac in some way. But he said he wasn't in the reading room. He was downstairs at the time. MC8 had another take on the situation, and he was there in the reading room reading his part as AWACS. He felt that Tupac wanted his character, Sharif, to be a thug like the rest of them. But he said that the Hughes brothers really didn't want Tupac in the movie in the first place. But it was some kind of deal that was made that I guess somebody else wanted him in the movie. He also said that he kept interrupting the reading, which is what everyone was doing. They were reading for their parts in the movie. Tupac wanted them to change parts of his character to give the public more understanding to how this kid grew up in the hood with thugs and became a Muslim while still a kid. Now with that, Tupac was right. If you are associated with drug dealers, killers, and all these unsavory people, how did you become a Muslim? Was your parents a Muslim? Now we know that his brother was killed, but Kane had family death also. It would have been interesting to know why one kid cared about his surroundings and the others didn't. Tyrone Turner was the lead character in this movie, and all the other characters in this movie surrounded him. And his take on it is that Pac kept interrupting the reading, saying that he needed a more meatier role than the character Sharif. So Allen Hughes said to Pac that you are being a bitch right now. And they stepped out the room together, and Allen was the only one who returned. He said that Pac was no longer associated with that movie after that. Another interesting thing is that he was asked what did Pac say after Allen called him a bitch, and he said nothing. The violence between Tupac and the Hughes brothers happened on the set of Spice One's video. They were directing the video. Now Spice One wasn't at the reading, but this fight occurred on that set, and Spice was interviewed about this in 2018. And he said that after the fight, they still kept the footage of Pac in the video. And he also said that Pac told him that he was not told he was fired. He said he saw it on the news. Now, once the brothers pulled up, Pac was standing with a bunch of dudes, and he told them not to get out of the car, but the brothers did. And Allen was hurt pretty bad. He was running for his life, and he was hurt to the point where the ambulance had to come and help him. He was bleeding. Now, it was said that Albert ran and left his brother to fend for himself. And nobody would say that Albert really did that, but a couple of them said allegedly. When court time came, Johnny Cochran was Tupac's lawyer, and nobody saw this fight, but everybody was there. Pac appeared on national television and admitted to beating up the brothers on Yo MTV Raps. Now, I never missed the episode of that show for like the first 6 years. You not only watch for the artists and the music, you watch for memorable moments like that, and it was epic. This is the stuff that Tupac was known for all through his career. You just couldn't get enough of the things that he did. Now, if I remember correctly, Pac said something like, "You fired me in a roundabout punk snitch way." Now, I don't really think he said fire me, but he did say the words roundabout punk snitch way. I remember that from 1993. Ed Lover and Dr. Dre, who worked for MTV, was with him along with John Singleton, and they tried their best to keep him quiet, but he wouldn't be quiet, and Tupac just didn't understand. He just didn't understand. He was sued by the Hughes brothers, and they won. I feel like Tupac wanted Tyrone's role, and Tyrone knew it. They all knew it. And I felt like Tyrone was a bit intimidated by that. Tyrone also said that he didn't know anything about Pac at that time because he wasn't that famous then. One thing I learned from watching the show Hollywood Divas is that when a black movie role come up for either a man or woman, you see the same people auditioning for the same role every time because work for them was hard to find. Plus, Pac had radio hits, and the movie Juice, he knew him. He also said that later he met up with Pac again, and Pac apologized for the way that he acted during the reading of Menace II Society. Now, I do believe some of MC8's version, because if Pac couldn't get the lead role, I feel he really didn't expect them to change the role that they gave him. He was just irritated with the whole situation. As far as his brother is concerned, Mopreme, I feel that he was saying what everybody around Tupac always said. You right, they wrong. I feel like it was nobody ever around him to say you wrong. He got on national TV and told the world that he physically beat these men, but didn't say he had help. Tupac knew he was fired. He didn't have to hear it on the news. He already knew it. And I believe MC8 when he said that the brothers didn't want him in the movie. And Pac knew that too, and it bothered him. That could have been a lesson learned for him, and we all know it wasn't. The role went to who it was supposed to go to, and that was Vontae Sweet, and he did an excellent job. The Hughes Brothers have a 5-part documentary. Either it's out or coming out on the FX channel called Outlaw, The Saga of Afeni and Tupac. I will get around to seeing it if it's out. If it's not, I'll just wait till it come out. I feel like they will focus on something different. I would like to thank you all so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and share the video. Thank you so much for watching this video.